There's a concept in the sales world called kiss versus kill, keeping it short and simple versus keeping it long and lengthy. Amateur salesmen would kill the sale by going on and on about unimportant details. A good salesman, on the other hand, would hit all of the important points in the shortest time possible and close the deal. Tip number 1 is to be efficient with your speaking. Conversation is all about quality. Try to remove all types of filler words like like, I guess, well, you know. These words bring no value to the conversation and they literally mean nothing. Listen to the following paragraph. What did you do this winter? Well, I had an okay time this break. I went snowboarding for the first time with some of my friends and well, it was actually a lot harder than it looked. That's about it. I guess I had fun. Haha. Now compare it to this. What did you do this winter? Me and my friends went snowboarding. It was actually my first time and it was a lot harder than it looked. Notice how the second version is much shorter, but the information being conveyed is the exact same. However, it sounds more confident and even more sophisticated. Don't be afraid to take pauses instead of relying on filler words as a crutch. Pauses can be powerful and can emphasize different parts of the message. Here's an example of pauses in action with the same sentence that we mentioned before. Me and some friends went snowboarding. It was actually my first time, but it was a lot harder than it looked. Tip number 2 is to use pauses to emphasize different parts of the message and to deliver more powerful messages. The following skill is probably the single most important skill in terms of overall conversation ability. If you can master this one skill, you'll be able to have endless conversation with just about anybody. Tip number 3 is conversational threading. Within every sentence, there are different topics that you can branch off into. Let's take a look at the following sentence. I live in New York City, but I've always wanted to move to the suburbs. It's because I love nature and I hate being around too many people. There are 4 different topics that you can branch off from here. You can talk about that time you wanted to visit New York City. You can talk about how you feel living in the suburbs. You can talk about your relationship with nature, and you can also talk about how you're an introvert and how you can relate with their hate of being around too many people. When a conversation dies, it's usually because there are no other topics to talk about that are interesting. So when given the opportunity to branch off into different topics, choose one that you're interested in talking about. Also keep in mind that you want to be giving the other person opportunities to talk about multiple topics as well. If you don't give them topics to branch off to, the conversation will eventually reach a dead end. Now this skill comes with practice. The more you try to look for topics to bounce off of, the more you will notice them. Here's another sentence. I like going to the gym. There's a sense of satisfaction I get when I see myself getting better at something. Now there are 3 different topics that you can branch off from here. You could talk about how you like going to the gym. You could talk about something that satisfies you. You can also talk about something that you got better at. Think back to the last time